mentality here from the beginning was like whatever is asked of me last year, this year, whatever the organization is going to ask of me, want to do that, my fullest capabilities. Excited about the opportunity, certainly, but
sitting here thinking, if and when Shadur does actually get the start, I think that Kevin Stefanski should then hand over play calling to Tommy Rees like he did last year when they decided to start Jameis, because I feel that Tommy Rees has the incentive to put his best foot forward and help Shadur look good. And honestly, feel that Kevin Stefanski has Shedur's best interest at heart because he obviously wants no part of Shadur.
Every play caller is going to have a different feel, a different spin on things. They're going to have things that they value, things that they want to get to. Kevin and I are not the same person, although, to your point, we have enough in our offense to make it look different in spots. We have enough depth in what we're asking those guys to do to make it look different. But I think some of the core principles continue on. We just have to do them at a higher level.
Wow, people. Cleveland just turned into a full-blown soap opera, and it's playing out in real time. Acting head coach Tommy Rees, who stepped in after the Browns' chaos hit peak level, just made the boldest, most jaw-dropping move of his career. And the NFL can't stop talking about it. Kevin Stefanski, once the face of the Browns' stability, is now watching from the sidelines as his entire legacy crumbles before his eyes. Tommy Rees isn't here to babysit this team. He's here to flip it upside down. And his first big move, getting Shedeur Sanders ready to be the starting quarterback. Not next season, not in a few weeks, but now. No hesitation, no fear, no permission slip from Stefanski.
Shedeur's development curve is obviously its own element, but 2 games is sort of where I'm looking and saying, if it doesn't start to get better, you've got to really be looking at how quickly we can get Shedeur up and running.
Rees isn't playing politics. He's playing for the future, and this decision just sent shockwaves through the locker room and the league. Let me be real with you. This isn't just another quarterback switch-up. What's happening in Cleveland right now could be the most important turning point for the Browns in an entire decade. The media is talking, players are whispering, and inside that facility, the energy has shifted. Big time.
Involved in developing the game plan every week. He's in Kevin Stefanski's ear all game long. It's not like his voice is not heard or he's not part of it. Is there a small difference in being the play caller? Maybe, but I just don't think that makes all that much of a difference. Like Tommy Rees is fully there. And if the Browns have a good quarterback somewhere out there on this team, they're going to put them out there because it would solve all their problems.
Tommy Rees took over as acting head coach with every reason to play it safe. He could have coasted, played the yes man role, and waited for things to calm down. But instead, he looked at the mess Stefanski left behind and made a gutsy choice, a career-defining one. Rees didn't just give Shedeur Sanders some extra reps or a fake opportunity to keep fans quiet. He went all in. He's treating Shadur like the franchise quarterback, the one Stefanski refused to believe in. It's clear, this isn't about filling time or pretending to develop talent. This is about taking control of a broken system and saying, I'm not letting this kid rot on the bench anymore. And the best part, Rees showed his cards right away. During his very first press conference as acting head coach, he did what Stefanski couldn't do all season. He showed genuine excitement for Shedeur Sanders. No dry coach speak, no vague cliches. Rees sounded like a man who believes he's staring at the next great NFL quarterback. He called Sanders' work ethic absolutely insane and said the young quarterback's been grinding harder than anyone else in the building. Rees painted a picture of a player who's been quietly building himself into a monster. The first to arrive, the last to leave, putting in every ounce of effort to master the system. He said Shadur has been attacking the playbook like a man possessed, studying defensive coverages, memorizing formations, working overtime to sync with his receivers. After every practice, he's out there under the lights, throwing extra routes, perfecting timing, building chemistry, doing the kind of gritty, obsessive work that separates good players from legends. And the craziest part? He's been doing all of this as a backup, waiting, watching, and grinding while others got chances he earned months ago. Rees knows what he's got on his hands, and he's done waiting for permission. Something's changing fast in Cleveland, and everyone can feel it. What makes Tommy Rees's words hit so different is that they don't sound like empty coach talk. They sound real. Every time Kevin Stefanski spoke, it felt scripted, cautious, safe. But when Rees took that podium, you could feel the conviction in his voice. He said when a player puts in that much work, when they commit to mastering not just the physical side, but the mental game, something incredible happens. The game slows down, the chaos disappears, and suddenly what once looked impossible becomes effortless. He said Shedeur Sanders is now operating on that rare level, that zone where only elite quarterbacks live. Rees described it perfectly. He said, when you study hard enough, the field starts talking to you. You see windows open before they even exist. You sense what the defense is about to do before they move. It's that mysterious sixth sense, the one that separates the legends from the rest. You can feel the pocket collapsing without looking. You can throw to a spot before your receiver even breaks his rote. That's when instinct takes over, and greatness begins to breathe. According to Rees, Sanders is right there. That turning point where thinking isn't hesitation anymore. It's advantage. Rees said when a quarterback reaches that level, it's no longer about surviving plays. It's about controlling them. That's when every throw, every read, every drive starts clicking like clockwork. That's when you stop being just good, and you start being the guy who changes everything. And if that's true, Cleveland's about to witness something wild, because when a coach starts talking about his young quarterback like that, with that kind of belief, it means something big is brewing behind those locker room doors. Then, right there in the same press conference, a reporter hit Rees with the question everyone in Cleveland has been screaming for weeks. He said, if Shadur is this locked in, if he's studying like a man possessed and showing this much talent, why isn't he playing? That's the question fans have been begging someone to answer. The Browns' offense has been putting people to sleep all season. 3 and outs, missed opportunities, zero spark. And this kid's sitting right there on the sideline, ready to go. So why not just let him loose? And Rees's response, man, it was perfect. No corporate talk, no excuses, no vague, trust the process lines that Stefanski always hides behind. He didn't try to dance around it or play politics. You could tell from his face, and he's not dodging smoke. He's ready to light it up. The whole room went silent, waiting for his answer. Because everyone could feel it. This wasn't just a press conference anymore. It was a warning shot. Something big is coming for the Browns. And Tommy Rees just made sure the world knows it. When Tommy Rees was asked if Shedeur Sanders would finally get his shot, he gave a calm, almost surgical answer. My focus is on where we are right now. That's it. Short, simple, but packed with meaning. And that's what makes Rees so dangerous. He doesn't waste words. He wasn't saying no. He was saying not yet. That's the difference between a scared coach and a strategic one. Rees isn't rushing the move. He's building it brick by brick. He wants Shadur to be so prepared, so polished, so mentally locked in that when his time finally comes, there won't be any debate. He's making sure that when Sanders steps on that field, it won't look like an experiment. It'll look like destiny. That's what real leadership looks like. He's not chasing headlines or trying to please reporters. He's setting up a statement moment, one that'll shut the critics down in a single game. And if you've been paying attention, you can already feel it coming. You can hear it in Rees's tone, see it in his body language. Something shifting inside that building, and it's all circling around one name, Shedeur Sanders. Now here's where it gets wild. Because behind the scenes, Rees isn't just hyping Shadur up in pressers. Nah, he's working him like a man on a mission. Word from inside the Browns facility says Rees has basically turned every practice into a private boot camp. He's treating every drill, every rep, like it's the Super Bowl. Rees has been personally fine-tuning Shadur's mechanics, adjusting his footwork, tightening his release, and cleaning up the tiny details that turn good quarterbacks into unstoppable ones. Every motion, every drop, every follow-through, he's sharpening it all. He's breaking down film for hours with him, pointing out safety's tendencies, showing him how to manipulate defenders with his eyes, and teaching him the art of disguise, the kind of Jedi-level tricks that only elite quarterbacks know how to pull off. Insiders say Rees is giving Shadur first-team reps now, and that's huge. That means Shadur's not running fake scout team drills anymore. He's going up against the starting defense with the real playbook. He's working with the top receivers, building that chemistry that wins games, not scrimmages. You can feel the difference. Every throw, every snap, it's starting to click. He's not out there pretending to be some opposing quarterback anymore. He's preparing like he's the Browns quarterback, period.
If you're going to go make that transition to Shadur, you've got to give him multiple games. You can't just have him go out there. As satisfying as it might be for some people to have him either be wildly successful or alternatively completely flop, and then you have to go back to the other guy, I think that is a horrible look for everybody and doesn't really get anything done. So look, Dillon Gabriel's struggles are incredibly frustrating. It's limiting the offense, but they need Shadur to be as ready as possible. So when they make that move, they can commit to him, let him figure this thing out and see if they've got something going there. Because here's the problem you're going to run into for the people who just are obsessed with Shedeur Sanders. If he goes out there and struggles to a point where he's unplayable in one game and they go back to the other guy, that is going to become its own talking point. People are going to freak out. Well, they didn't give him a chance and all this other stuff. So when they make that move, it's got to be for multiple games. Let him figure it out. Hopefully he's going to be ready to make that move.
And the results, man, they're shocking people. Sources inside the locker room are calling it a complete transformation. One coach was overheard saying, he's slicing through our defense like butter. His passes, laser accurate, the timing, perfect. It's like he's been playing in the league for years already. Rees knows exactly what he's doing. He's building a monster in silence. When the curtain finally lifts and Shadur steps onto that field, it won't just be another rookie debut. It's going to feel like the arrival of a storm Cleveland has been waiting on for years. Something special's brewing inside that locker room, and it's about to blow the doors off the AFC. Shedeur Sanders is putting on a clinic out there. His deep balls are dropping out of the sky like guided missiles, that perfect mix of arc, speed, and precision that makes defensive backs panic before the ball even lands. His intermediate throws, smooth and deadly, hitting receivers right in stride so they can keep running without breaking momentum. And that short game, quick, sharp, and surgical, getting the ball out fast, keeping the chains moving with ease. This is exactly what Cleveland's been missing all season: rhythm, timing, confidence, and fire. Tommy Rees has built this thing like a masterpiece, watering it, shaping it, and getting it ready to explode on the NFL. He's not just preparing a quarterback, he's growing a leader. Rees sees what Stefanski either never noticed or refused to admit. Shedeur Sanders isn't some untested rookie. He's a battle-tested sniper. He earned that edge back in Colorado under Deion Sanders, playing in a media storm where every move was magnified and every throw was judged like a national headline. That kind of pressure breaks most players, but it made Shadur stronger. His blood turned to ice. He learned how to stay calm when the crowd's losing its mind, how to handle noise and chaos like it's nothing, and how to deliver when the spotlight's burning the hottest. Rees knows that kind of experience can't be taught. It's earned. He believes those college moments forged Shadur into a quarterback who's fearless, clutch, and ready for war. Rees is betting everything on the idea that Shadur's instincts, composure, and cold-blooded mentality will translate instantly to the NFL and finally rescue Cleveland from its endless quarterback curse. And honestly, who can argue with him? The confidence this kid walks with, the calm in his voice, the control in his body language. It's different. Reporters say when Shadur steps onto the field, even veterans stop to watch. He's got that quiet aura that says, "I know I'm built for this." And Rees, he's doubling down on it. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. The elephant in the room that nobody in Cleveland can ignore anymore. Kevin Stefanski, the man who's supposed to be in charge, looks like he's completely lost the locker room, and maybe even himself. While Tommy Rees is out here reinventing the Browns' offense and turning Shedeur Sanders into a star in waiting, Stefanski's standing in the shadows like he doesn't even know what's happening. He's acting like Shadur doesn't exist. No mentions, no enthusiasm, nothing. It's almost like he's in denial, pretending the most exciting thing in Cleveland football isn't happening right under his nose. Insiders are saying it straight. Rees is running this team now, whether Stefanski likes it or not. The staff believes in him, the players respect him, and the fans are starting to whisper his name louder every week. The Browns' quarterback revolution has already begun, and Stefanski, he's just watching it pass him by. It's honestly wild, frustrating, confusing, and flat-out insulting to everyone watching. Kevin Stefanski keeps acting like any mention of Shedeur Sanders is some kind of mosquito buzzing in his ear. Every time reporters bring him up, Stefanski shuts down like someone pulled the plug. He won't even say Shadur's name unless a journalist forces him to. And when he does talk, it's all about Dylan Gabriel, like he's the second coming of Joe Montana or something. Come on, man. Anyone watching these games can see what's really happening. Gabriel's overwhelmed, outmatched, and completely lost in this offense. But here's the thing. Stefanski's behavior isn't just strange anymore. It's personal. He's acting like admitting Shadur might be better than his hand-picked quarterback would somehow destroy his pride. It's as if his whole identity as a coach depends on proving the world wrong, even when the truth is staring him right in the face. That kind of stubbornness, it's toxic. And now the tension between Stefanski and Tommy Rees is reaching a boiling point. You could feel it through the walls of the Browns facility. That thick, uneasy energy that says something's about to explode. On one side, you've got Rees, the acting head coach, openly praising Shadur, building him up and preparing him for greatness. On the other, you've got Stefanski, still clinging to the old playbook, pretending Shadur doesn't even exist. This is textbook dysfunction, the kind of power struggle that rips organizations apart from the inside. Coaches whispering, players taking sides, the front office trying to act calm while the whole foundation shakes. And yet, somehow in all this chaos, there's something poetic about it. Because Stefanski's outdated, ego-driven approach, it's finally running out a road. The wave that's coming, the Shedeur Sanders wave, can't be stopped anymore. Even if Rees is just in charge temporarily, the damage is done. He's awakened something the Browns can't put back in the box. The dam's cracking, the revolution's coming, and when it breaks, it's gonna drown every old excuse that's held this team back. There's a storm brewing in Cleveland, loud, unstoppable, and carrying one name in bold letters, Shedeur Sanders. And speaking of Shadur, let's talk about how this kid's handling all the pressure, because it's nothing short of inspiring. Most young quarterbacks would crack under this spotlight, being benched for politics, ignored by the head coach, and thrown into a media frenzy. But not Shadur. He's handling it like a pro, calm, sharp, and quietly confident. He's not hiding his excitement anymore, and honestly, why should he? After months of grinding, showing up early, staying late, studying film till midnight, he finally has a coach who believes in him. Tommy Rees sees the same thing fans see, the spark, the discipline, the hunger. Reporters who've been at practice say you can see it on his face, that energy, that grin that says, it's almost time. Every snap, every throw, every rep, he's moving like a man who knows his moment's coming. You can feel it in the air, the shift, the confidence, the storm rolling in. Cleveland doesn't realize it yet, but Shedeur Sanders isn't just waiting anymore. He's rising. You can feel it every time Shedeur Sanders speaks. That quiet confidence, that edge that only comes from someone who knows his moment is near. During interviews, there's a calm in his tone, but the energy underneath, it's electric. Reporters say even during practice, his body language screams readiness, the kind of focus that makes teammates stop mid-drill just to watch him work. And then came the Twitch stream that blew fans away. No PR team, no script, no fake smiles. Just Shadur being real. He spoke straight from the heart, telling his fans he's locked in on giving everything he's got in practice. He promised that when his number finally gets called, he'll be ready. Not just to play, but to dominate. You could hear the hunger in his voice. This wasn't media training. It was raw emotion from a quarterback who's been grinding in the shadows, waiting for that one shot to change everything. He told his fans he's not preparing to fill in. He's preparing to take over. Shadur said he's out to prove that all the hype, all the noise, all the belief, it's real, that every headline and every fan who's had his back wasn't wrong for believing, and more than anything, he's ready to make the entire NFL and Kevin Stefanski regret not giving him the keys sooner. But what makes this confidence hit different is that it's not arrogance, it's faith. It's the kind of belief that comes from relentless preparation, and when that kind of faith meets readiness, that's the deadliest combo in sport. Now imagine that fire meeting Tommy Rees's aggressive coaching mindset. It's a recipe for mayhem in the best way possible. Rees isn't your conservative, play-it-safe kind of coach. He doesn't call plays hoping to win. He calls them like he's trying to embarrass the other team. He's bold, unpredictable, and ruthless when it comes to attacking defenses. Sources inside the organization say Rees has been designing plays specifically around Shedur's strengths, pushing the ball downfield, creating chaos for defenders, and trusting his quarterback to make big-time throws. Rees doesn't care about protecting the offense. He wants to unleash it, and that's what makes this pairing so dangerous. Shedur's got the arm, the guts, and the swagger to make those deep throws work. He's not afraid to take chances, and Rees isn't afraid to let him. Together, they're rewriting what Cleveland football looks like. Fans are already buzzing online. Theories, leaks, and wild predictions flying everywhere. Comment sections are full of one big question. Is this the birth of a new era in Cleveland? Because if Tommy Rees and Shedeur Sanders keep feeding off each other like this, one fearless coach and one hungry quarterback, the rest of the NFL better start paying attention. Something's shifting in Cleveland, and it's about to shake the whole league. So here's the question hanging over Cleveland right now. Is this it? Is this finally the moment when everything clicks? When the Browns stop being the league's biggest what-if story and finally turn into the offensive powerhouse fans have been dreaming about? Or is this just a temporary flash of sanity? A few weeks of hope before Kevin Stefanski comes crawling back, shuts it all down, and drags the team right back into his stale, play-not-to-lose nightmare that's been killing their season from day one. Nobody really knows yet, but the tension inside that building is insane. Every new practice report gets dissected like it's a classified document. Every time Tommy Rees speaks, fans read between every line, searching for clues about Shedur's future. And every time Shadur posts something on social media, a picture, a lyric, even a cryptic emoji, thousands of Browns fans screenshot it, share it, and debate what it really means. Cleveland hasn't felt energy like this in decades. There's excitement, there's fear, and there's this electric feeling that something huge is coming, one way or another. But then came the moment that might have sealed Kevin Stefanski's fate. The press conference that fans are calling his worst one ever. It was supposed to be a routine Q&A. Instead, it turned into a public meltdown that exposed everything wrong with his leadership. A reporter asked the one question that everyone wanted answered. Where does Shedeur Sanders fit into your plans? Simple, right? But Stefanski didn't even hesitate, and what came out of his mouth shocked the room. He said flat out, he's not in the plans. That's it. Cold, dismissive, final. No coach speak, no sugarcoating, just pure arrogance on display. He didn't say, "We'll see," or "We're evaluating." He made it sound like Shedeur Sanders, the most talked about player in Cleveland, doesn't even exist to him, and he didn't stop there. Oh no, Stefanski dug the hole deeper. He went on to say that Shadur had shown up to practice banged up, as if to imply that the kid wasn't serious about preparation or wasn't committed enough. That comment spread online like wildfire, and fans were furious. Then he tried to backtrack, saying he was just looking out for Shedur's health, claiming that after warm-ups, he decided the young quarterback wasn't fit to play. But everyone in that room could tell what he was really doing, deflecting blame, trying to make it sound like a medical call instead of a personal choice. Come on, man, nobody's buying that. Fans aren't stupid, and neither are the players. The reporters in that room could feel the tension the second he said it. It wasn't concern, it was control. Stefanski sounded like a man desperate to protect his ego, not his player. And that's what makes this situation so volatile. Because every time Stefanski speaks, Tommy Rees looks more like the real leader of this team. Rees is connecting with players, building trust, and turning Shadur into a star in waiting, while Stefanski's out here isolating himself with arrogance. Cleveland can feel it. Something's got to give. Either the Browns finally hand the keys to the guy who's ready to drive this franchise into a new era, or they let the same old fear run it into the ground again. But one thing's for sure. After that press conference, Kevin Stefanski might have just talked himself right out of a job. There's a massive difference between protecting a player who's actually hurt and benching one because of politics, pride, and pure ego. And right now, it looks like Kevin Stefanski is doing the latter, and everyone can see through it. His so-called injury excuse for Shedeur Sanders is so weak it might as well be written on gas station toilet paper, and it's tearing apart what little credibility he had left. Fans don't believe it. Reporters don't believe it. Even people inside the building are whispering that the story doesn't add up. Analysts across the league are calling it out too, saying what everyone's thinking but won't say out loud. Stefanski isn't protecting Shadur, he's protecting himself. Think about it. If Shadur was really hurt, why was he at practice all week? Why was Tommy Rees giving him first-team reps like he was gearing up to start? Why did Shadur himself go on record saying, "I feel great, I'm ready to go"? None of this lines up. When the dots don't connect in the NFL, there's usually one reason. Someone's hiding something. And in this case, the finger's pointing straight at Stefanski. Word around the league is that he's terrified. Terrified that if Shadur finally steps on the field and lights it up, it'll expose just how badly he's mismanaged this team by sticking with Dillon Gabriel way too long. Instead of owning that mistake, he's spinning excuses, trying to twist the narrative, while Rees, the acting head coach, is on the sideline watching Shadur like a man who knows he's staring at the future. You could see it during practice. The intensity, the focus, the hunger. Shadur wasn't out there jogging through drills or coasting through reps. He attacked every single one like it was the fourth quarter of a playoff game. Sweat flying, eyes locked in. This was a quarterback on a mission. One staffer described it perfectly. He looks like a man who's been waiting his whole life for this moment, and you can tell. His passes have been described as laser precise, slicing through defenders like heat-seeking missiles. Even when the defense tried to disguise coverages and send pressure, Shadur stayed calm, reading the field like a veteran, adjusting on the fly. When the pocket collapsed, he didn't panic. He slipped out, quick, smooth, and fearless. His mobility kept plays alive, turned broken downs into big gains, and left defenders shaking their heads. That's not a rookie move. That's the mindset of a quarterback who plays to win. Rees sees it, the players see it, and deep down, even Stefanski knows it. That's what scares him the most, because once Shedeur Sanders finally gets unleashed, there's no going back. His talent, his poise, his command, it's going to make everything Stefanski's been preaching look outdated overnight. The truth is coming whether he likes it or not, and when it hits, the city of Cleveland will know who the real leader of this team is. Shadur isn't waiting for permission anymore. He's getting ready to take it. That's the kind of magic that makes coaches fall in love with a player, the kind that makes entire franchises start reshaping their future around one name. Everyone at Brown's practice could feel it. Something special was happening. Reporters who've been covering the league for decades were whispering that this kid is different. Even the veterans, the ones who've seen quarterbacks come and go like revolving doors, couldn't help but nod in respect. Shedeur Sanders isn't just talented. He's got that rare unteachable it factor. The kind of calm under pressure that doesn't just impress people. It commands the room. Every throw he makes, every read he nails, every time he shrugs off a collapsing pocket with that stone-cold focus, it's a statement. He's not another rookie chasing scraps or begging for attention. He's a quarterback who looks born to lead. You can see it in his demeanor, hear it in his tone, and feel it in the way the team rallies when he's under center. Kevin Stefanski may keep pretending otherwise, but the truth is written all over that field. Shedeur Sanders is the future of this team, and Tommy Rees knows it better than anyone. Every throw, every decision, every ounce of composure is saying one thing louder and louder each day. Shedeur Sanders is ready, right now, not next year, not in development mode, right now. But this story is even bigger than one quarterback finally breaking through, because Tommy Rees isn't just fighting to prove Shadur deserves to start, he's fighting to save the Browns' locker room from collapsing completely. Inside the building, tension is thicker than smoke. Players are whispering in corners, glancing around during meetings, trying to figure out which side everyone's on. You can feel the divide. Stefanski's stubborn old-school mindset on one side and Rees's bold, fearless energy on the other. This isn't just about playbooks anymore. It's about identity. The Browns are teetering on the edge of implosion, and Rees is doing everything he can to hold the pieces together before it's too late. And then came the breaking point, the moment that proved the situation has gone from tense to explosive. The loudest signal yet that the locker rooms officially lost faith in the system came from the one man nobody ever expected to speak out, Myles Garrett. Myles, the face of the defense, the veteran who's always kept his cool, the lead-by-example guy who never airs dirty laundry, finally snapped. He stood in front of the cameras and called out the coaching staff publicly. You could hear the frustration in his voice. No filters, no sugarcoating, just raw truth spilling out. And that's when everyone realized this isn't just frustration anymore, it's rebellion. When Myles Garrett, the heart and soul of that locker room, says he's had enough, it's not about venting. It's about a leader signaling the team has hit its breaking point. The Browns are standing on the edge of something major, a full-blown shift in power, energy, and leadership. Tommy Rees is out here trying to steady the ship while Stefanski's grip slips away. And at the center of it all, the one player who's making believers out of everyone, Shedeur Sanders, the calm in the chaos, the quarterback Cleveland didn't know it needed until now. The tension inside Cleveland's locker room isn't just simmering anymore, it's boiling over. Players are snapping during meetings, voices are being raised, and the frustration is impossible to hide. But the biggest, loudest, and most undeniable sign that things have gone completely off the rails came from the one man nobody ever expected to explode, Myles Garrett. This is Mr. Professional, the iron wall of discipline, the ultimate lead-by-example guy. When a player like Myles steps to a microphone and calls out his own coaching staff, it's not just frustration. It's a full-blown alarm bell echoing across the entire NFL. From coast to coast, people heard it loud and clear. The Browns are in chaos. At his latest press conference, Myles didn't hold anything back. No rehearsed sound bites, no corporate talk, just straight, unfiltered truth. He said flat out that he's done listening to Kevin Stefanski's endless excuses, done with the constant quarterback carousel that keeps spinning and spinning while this team goes nowhere. Garrett's message was simple. He's tired of all the talk, tired of hearing about process, patience, and progress, while the same old problems keep repeating week after week. He said it himself. Leaders talk about accountability, but they never show it. They speak like businessmen, but they refuse to make the tough decisions that winners make every day. And then came the quote that rocked Cleveland. Garrett said, "It's not that complicated. You win games or you don't. Stop overthinking it. That's it. No politics, no protecting feelings, just truth." For him, it's not about empty slogans or pretty words. It's about action. Win football games. That's the only thing that matters. And what makes it sting even more is that Myles has been doing everything right. Every single week, he's going out there putting on a defensive masterclass, terrorizing quarterbacks, racking up sacks, stripping the ball, forcing turnovers, dragging this team into games they don't deserve to be in. He's carrying the Browns' defense like Atlas holding up the world. While the offense keeps tripping over itself, Myles is out there fighting with everything he's got. Bruised, battered, exhausted, but still dominating. You can see it in his play, and you can hear it in his voice when he talks about it. The fatigue, the anger, the heartbreak of watching his side of the ball do everything right, only for the offense to give it all away. He's fed up, and who could blame him? Every time the Browns' defense forces a stop, the offense trots back out just to stall again. Drive after drive, they're burning clock and momentum, putting the defense right back on the field for another 35 minutes of punishment. By the fourth quarter, you can practically see the exhaustion on their faces, and Garrett knows it's not just physical, it's mental. This is a man who's given everything he's got, and he's watching it all go to waste. When Myles Garrett, your leader, your star, your voice of reason, starts speaking this raw, it's not a complaint, it's a warning that the locker room's patience is gone, and if this chaos keeps up, something or someone is about to break. The Browns' defense is holding up the whole city right now, but the cracks are showing. And Myles Garrett's message couldn't be clearer. Stop the excuses, stop the politics, stop the nonsense. Just win football games. You can hear the exhaustion in Myles Garrett's voice, that deep, drained kind of tired that goes way beyond physical fatigue. It's the weariness of a man who's been giving everything. The sweat, the grind, the highlight plays, and still watching the scoreboard betray him week after week. He's fighting like a warrior, but it's like dragging a team that refuses to fight beside him. And honestly, who can blame him? Garrett could have walked away. He could have demanded a trade, chased a Super Bowl, joined a real contender that would actually maximize his talent. But he didn't. He stayed. He believed. He signed that massive contract extension not just for the paycheck, but because he trusted this franchise. He bought into the dream that Cleveland was building something special, something worth sacrificing for. But what did he get in return? Mediocrity, chaos, and disappointment stacked higher than the dog-pound bleachers. It's got to eat at your soul, putting your body on the line every Sunday, leading by example, only to watch the same mistakes repeat over and over again. And when even the calmest guy in the room finally snaps, you know things are bad. Former NFL player turned analyst Emmanuel Acho didn't sugarcoat it. He said straight up that when someone like Myles Garrett, a captain, a role model, a man who never steps out of line, finally goes off script and calls out the offense and the coaching staff publicly, it's a red flag the entire league can see. Acho said that's not just frustration, it's a signal. When the locker room's true leader breaks the unwritten rule of keep it in-house, it means trust is gone. The players have stopped believing in the plan. They've stopped believing the coaches even know what they're doing. Sure, they'll show up, go through drills, play on Sundays, but mentally, they've checked out. And that's the scariest part, because once that kind of disconnect spreads through a locker room, it's almost impossible to fix. The bond between player and coach, the belief that they're all chasing the same goal, starts to crumble. And that's exactly what Acho warned about. He said when a man like Myles Garrett breaks rank publicly, it's not a hot take or a media stunt. It's pattern recognition. This is coming from someone who's been in NFL locker rooms, who knows what it looks like when the walls start caving in. Garrett's press conference wasn't random. It was the kind of truth bomb that drops right before everything falls apart. Acho made it clear. This is the storm before the collapse. You don't need gossip or rumors to see it. The Browns are sending out distress signals in plain sight. The defense is worn down. The locker room's divided. The leadership's gone quiet. And in the middle of it all, Kevin Stefanski, the man who's supposed to steer the ship, looks completely lost. So the question now isn't if the Browns are unraveling, it's what Stefanski is going to do about it. How do you respond when your best player publicly says he's done listening? When your locker room no longer believes in your vision? When even your assistant coach, Rees, looks more like the real leader? Because the truth is, this isn't just a rough patch. It's a full-blown identity crisis. And unless Stefanski makes a move fast, the Browns aren't just going to lose games, they're going to lose the locker room, the fans, and maybe even the entire future they were supposed to be building around Shedeur Sanders and Myles Garrett. Kevin Stefanski keeps doubling down like a man who refuses to read the writing on the wall. Week after week, he keeps betting it all on Dillon Gabriel, trotting him out there like maybe the 53rd try will finally bring a miracle after 52 straight disappointments. It's painful to watch. He keeps pretending everything's fine while the team's chemistry collapses in real time. The locker room's divided, the energy's gone flat, and the faith in his leadership completely shattered. And that's the tragedy. This kind of blind stubbornness is exactly what gets coaches fired and leaves franchises stuck in years of rebuilds they never recover from. It's pride over performance, ego over evidence, and now it's costing the Browns everything. That's why Rees isn't just filling in anymore. He's not acting like a temporary substitute waiting for orders. He's running this team. He's taking command because he can feel it. The Browns are one bad week away from total meltdown. Rees isn't here to babysit the roster. He's here to save it from burning to the ground. He's the only one who sees it clearly. The season is slipping away. The locker room's losing faith. And if something bold doesn't happen soon, this whole thing will crumble into dust. Stefanski's officially out of excuses, out of time, and out of allies. Even people who used to defend him, reporters, veterans, front office insiders, they've stopped whispering in private. Now they're shouting it publicly. Enough is enough. Everyone, from die-hard fans to national analysts to players inside the building, agrees on one undeniable truth. Sticking with Dillon Gabriel as QB1 is the most frustrating, baffling decision in Cleveland right now. And that's saying something, because this franchise has made plenty of questionable calls before. The consensus is crystal clear. Gabriel is a backup, not a builder. A decent fill-in, not a franchise cornerstone. He's the kind of quarterback you trust for a couple drives when your starter's hurt, not someone you hand your season to. NFL defenses have already figured him out like an open book. Teams know his every habit, every rhythm, every weakness. They know his favorite reads, his go-to targets, even the routes he hesitates on. It's like the whole league cracked his code, and now every Sunday they're exposing him for it. Early on he looked serviceable, maybe even steady, but now defenses are baiting him into traps, disguising coverages, forcing him into panic mode. And when things get tough, Gabriel completely unravels. His eyes drop, his footwork breaks down. He panics, rushes his throws, and starts launching off his back foot straight into double cover. Instead of leading drives, he's killing them. Instead of building momentum, he's sucking the energy out of the team. Teammates fight to get open, receivers run perfect routes, linemen grind to protect him, and still, Gabriel freezes. He stares down his first read until the defense closes in, then either takes a sack or forces a bad throw that kills the rhythm. It's the kind of quarterback play that destroys morale, and you can see it in the players' faces. The frustration, the disappointment, the disbelief. Every time a drive dies because of another avoidable mistake, heads drop a little lower. You can't build belief in a locker room that keeps watching winnable games slip away because of the same predictable errors. Meanwhile, Tommy Rees is on the sideline fuming, watching Shedeur Sanders tear it up in practice, knowing exactly what the offense could look like if they just let the kid loose. Rees sees the fire, the accuracy, the leadership, and he knows this offense could explode the moment Shadur steps in. But instead, Stefanski keeps forcing Gabriel out there like it's some twisted experiment to prove his own point. It's pride at war with progress, and right now, pride is winning. What Stefanski doesn't realize is this: he's not just risking the season, he's risking the entire future of the Browns. Because when a team this talented starts losing belief in its coach, it doesn't take months for things to unravel. It takes one game, one bad Sunday, one more embarrassing collapse before the whole city turns. And make no mistake, it's coming. The fans can feel it, the players can sense it, and Tommy Rees is standing by, ready to step in before this franchise implodes. The only question left is, will Cleveland act before it's too late? Because sticking with Dillon Gabriel isn't just a bad call anymore. It's a slow-motion disaster, and the countdown's already ticking. At this point, even the players are starting to question everything. Why they're grinding through practices, why they're putting their bodies on the line every Sunday, and what they're even fighting for anymore. When effort doesn't lead to results, frustration turns into fire. And that's exactly what's happening in Cleveland right now. The whispers that used to float quietly around the Browns facility have exploded into a roar. You can feel it everywhere, in the stands, on the sidelines, across social media. There's one chant echoing through the city like a war cry: "Start Shedeur Sanders!" It's not just fans saying it, it's everyone. Sports talk radio has made it their daily headline. Analysts are demanding answers. Even players in the locker room are murmuring under their breath, asking the same question everyone else is: why won't management just do what's obviously right? The tension's thick, the energy's boiling, and Cleveland knows exactly what's missing. Every conversation, every post, every clip, every rumor points to one truth that can't be ignored any longer. Shedeur Sanders is ready, and the city's done waiting. Cleveland's reaching its breaking point. The fans have spoken, the players have hinted, and the entire NFL can feel the storm that's about to hit. This isn't just a quarterback controversy anymore. It's a full-on rebellion inside the Browns organization. The silence from management, the stubborn pride from Stefanski, and the rise of Tommy Rees have created the perfect collision course. And at the center of it all stands Shedeur Sanders, calm, locked in, and ready to take over. Everyone can sense it. This city's heartbeat is sinking with one name. The locker room believes. The fan base believes. Even the media, once skeptical, is now turning the spotlight toward the truth. Cleveland's future begins the moment Shadur steps on that field. And when he does, everything changes. Because this isn't about hype anymore. It's about history. The Browns have spent decades searching for the guy. Now he's right there, standing on the sideline, waiting to bring the fire this team's been missing. You can either fight it or embrace it, but one thing's for sure: the new era of Cleveland football is coming fast, and it's wearing number 2. So buckle up, because when Shadur finally takes that first snap under center, it won't just be another game. It'll be a moment, the kind of moment that flips the narrative, silences the doubters, and reminds the entire NFL that Cleveland might have been down, but they were never out. And trust me, we'll be right here breaking it all down the second it happens, only on Huddle Files, where the truth hits harder than the tackle on 4th and goal. If this saga had you shook, wait till you see what's next. You already know what it is. Huddle Files got the real, raw, and unfiltered breakdowns. So don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to catch up.